Ariados is the only Pokemon to have the same sprite in all Generation 2 games. Ariados is the third and least prominent member of GSCNU's three main Agility Pass users, alongside Farfetch'd and Ledion. Like those two, Ariados is a fundamentally bad Pokemon that remains viable because of Baton Pass. Well, viable in quotes. Ariados is shit in GSCNU. It only fits onto full Baton Pass teams, and said teams are gimmicky and inconsistent. Ariados is the only Pokemon in GSCNU that can pass a trapping move with Spiderweb, and it can pass Agility. It isn't even guaranteed on Agility Pass teams though, considering its poor speed and common weaknesses. Agility Pass teams tend to prefer another Agility recipient or support Pokemon over a third Agility user. As a result, Ariados is close to non-existent in GSCNU. Here's a fun fact though, at one point, Ariados was viable in all of GSCUU, GSCNU, and GSCPU. The only other Pokemon to be viable in that many GSC tiers is Poliwhirl. Nowadays, it's completely unviable in UU, and really fringe in NU, but hey, it happened once. Let's analyse the long leg Pokemon. Ariados is exclusively used as a Baton Passer in GSCNU. If you drop Baton Pass, there's no reason to run it. It's very slow, frail, not that strong, and manhandled by Pokemon like Xatu. Ariados is completely outclassed by Weezing without Baton Pass. With Baton Pass though, it carves a small niche. Baton Pass is a really broken move. Baton Pass passes stat boost from one Pokemon to another, a feature that can be used in game-breaking ways. If you pass Agility to Pokemon like Cubone or Bellydrum Lickitung and manage to set up, the game is probably over. Ariados can pass Agility decently enough. After using Agility, it outspeeds the whole tier and is free to pass around. Ariados can pass Agility to Pokemon like Cubone or Bellydrum Lickitung to possibly end the game right there. The main reason to use Ariados over Farfetch'd and Ledion is Spiderweb. In the earlier generations, Spiderweb's trapping effect is passed by Baton Pass. If you trap, say, an Octillery with Spiderweb and then pass to Ledion, Octillery will still be disallowed from switching. If you trap a weaker Pokemon, like Azumarill or Gloom, they won't be able to stop you from passing to Ledion or Farfetch'd and getting free setup. This strategy works well with moves like Sand Attack and Confuse Ray. The trapped opponent is stuck missing their moves as you get free setup. This strategy can be used to eliminate problematic Pokemon for Baton Pass teams. Haze Weezing is a major pain for Agility Pass teams, and Ariados can trap it and eliminate it with Psychic, or at least force it to explode. Ariados uses Psychic as an attacking move, which 3KOs Weezing, Gloom, and Primeape. Spiderweb Ariados greatly appreciates GSCNU's lack of phasers. It's actually a pretty scary Pokemon for stall teams to handle. Their passive nature means they can't hurt him much, and can't do anything to stop Spiderweb Pass since they usually don't have a phaser. Ariados' poison typing grants it an immunity to Toxic, letting it punish Shuckle. You don't have to run Spiderweb though. Ariados can run Sludge Bomb over it, acting as a decently powerful physical move. It helps finish off weakened threats not weak to Psychic. GSCNU's fast pace make it difficult for Ariados to set up Spiderweb anyway, so using it as a standard Agility passer is okay. Ariados is exclusively seen on Baton Pass teams. Cubone, Curse Statler, and Bellydrum Lickitung are the most dangerous recipients of Agility, so you see those guys alongside Ariados. Ledion and Farfetch'd are almost always seen alongside it too, given that they are also only seen on Baton Pass. Both of them can pass agility to Ariados, negating the turn needed to use that move and letting you click Spiderweb. Legion can also support Ariados with Light Screen and Barrier. Dragonair can support Ariados with Light Screen, Reflect, and Thunderwave. Sand Attack Flareon can repeatedly lower the accuracy of a trapped foe, making it even easier to set up on them. It's worth noting that Ariados does learn Growth, but it's unfortunately illegal with Baton Pass. If it was legal, you could pass speed and special attack boosts to Pokemon like Dugong, turning them into a terrifying threat. It wasn't meant to be though. You could theoretically pass curse boosts with Ariados, but I've literally never seen this set used, so I can't really comment on it. It isn't really surprising that I've never seen this set, because Ariados is very rarely used in the first place. Yeah, while all that crap about Trap Pass sounds great, it rarely translates into success. Ariados is very unreliable at Trap Passing, because it's a terrible Pokemon and the tier is very offensive. Ariados' typing leaves it with weaknesses to Psychic, Fire, Flying, and Rock, meaning Xatu, Weezing, Magmar, Fearow, Ninetales, Rapidash, Sudowoodo, and Graveler all pose a huge threat. Ariados' bulk is mediocre, and it doesn't have any useful resistances. Almost every Pokemon worth its salt can 3KO Ariados. Ariados only reliably traps Pokemon on stall teams, and set teams aren't very common in this metagame. Ariados faces competition for a team slot on Baton Pass teams. It's generally better to use another support Pokemon like Dragonair or another Baton Pass recipient like Statler over a third agility passer. Ariados faces competition from fellow agility passers Legion and Farfetch'd. Legion can set up Light Screen and Pass Barrier, as well as bring a high special defense stat to the table. Farfetch'd can pass Sword Stance and pose a bigger offensive threat. Unlike Ariados, both of these Pokemon are Spikes immune, granting them better longevity. By the way, Baton Pass teams, aka the only teams to use Ariados on, are severely flawed. Baton Pass teams really struggle with Weezing, Dugtrio, Explosion users, Kingler, and setup normal types. It's really tough to make them work when the tier is so offensive. Plus, you have to use fundamentally crap Pokemon like Ariados and Legion just to Baton Pass in the first place. Ariados only fits onto an inconsistent and gimmicky playstyle, and it isn't even guaranteed on it. Its whole shtick is hard to make consistently work. While Trap Pass is really cool, the only Pokemon that can do it is a terrible spider. Ariados has been the same in all 4 iterations of GSCNU. It's a very niche and uncommon Pokemon that will only show up once in a blue moon.